Hello and welcome to our how-to video on the deposit to T&M billing type in Mission Control. Mission Control offers several ways for you to invoice your clients, and one of those is deposit to T&M. In the deposit to T&M billing type, it can be used when you have a client who has paid a deposit and would like to continue with a time and material agreement once the deposit has been used up. So you can create multiple deposit events, billing events inside of your project. And once those have been used up, the periodic billing process kicks in and picks up any remaining time logs and expenses. So when you have the deposit billing event, any time logs and expenses created afterwards or approved afterwards will get picked up by this deposit billing event. If there's sufficient balance in it. If there isn't a sufficient balance, the time logs will get split, and then the remaining expenses or the split time log will get picked up by the periodic billing process. So let's jump into the demo and have a deeper look at this. All right, so before we get into the deposit to T&M billing setup, we'll just have a look at the control pad. So under Mission Control tab, go to Control Pad, and we'll just review the billing settings. So to be able to use this feature, you'll want to make sure you go into the control pad and look for the billing event style. And there's a periodic billing setting here that you'll want to enable and set a schedule for. Once you've done that, you'll want to make sure to click Save. So this will ensure the time material or the periodic billing process appropriately picks up any remaining split time logs and expenses. For the PDF generation process, if you'd like for the PDF to be automatically generated at the interval of every 5 minutes, you can check this box. Otherwise, you'll need to manually update it. And then you also have some template settings you can update. So what labels to use or what logo to include, if there's any template footer notes, and some other settings that you can update from here. So we'll go to a project that I've set up here and go to the process of setting up the project to be deposit to T&M. So I've got one action in here. I will make sure to edit the project and set up the fields for the deposit to T&M. So scroll down until I find the relevant fields. I can use a tax label, which allows me to set a tax, the currency, the locale for the invoice. I can also use it to override labels on the invoice, add custom fields, or invoice under a different business entity entirely. I've got my billing rate and cost rate set to standard. So I've got a billable day rate of 800 and a cost day rate of 400. So my billable hourly rate is 100 and a cost hourly rate is $50. I'll set my billing type to be deposit to T&M and my billing cycle to be periodic. I can set my payment terms. I can set that to 7 days. And then the frequency, I can set that to monthly. The only other field that you want to update is the periodic billing next date. So we'll set that to tomorrow when the next time the periodic billing process runs. I'll also, this is optional, but I'll also include the time log expense appendix so that I can see those records inside of the PDF once it gets generated. So that is all for the project side of things. Now you'll want to make sure the deposit billing event is set up. So to do that, you'll want to go into the billing tab and then create a new billing event. So we'll create a deposit and I'll just give it today's date. And we'll set deposit 1. Okay, so we'll set the type to invoice. We'll set the status to draft. Once you've issued the, once you're about to issue the billing deposit billing event to a client, you can set that status to issued. And when the payment record has been created against the billing event, it will automatically update to paid once the full amount has been paid. So the invoice date, we will set it to 7 days ahead. And we'll make sure the deposit checkbox is true. And that is all for now. We'll go ahead and create the billing event item record. So here's the billing event. We'll go into the related and create a billing event item. So deposit billing event item. I'll set an amount here for $1,000. No tax applicable. And if there's any other additional information you need to add in, like the ledger code or description, you can add that in. Save that. Just one thing to keep in mind for deposit billing events, you should ensure that there's only one billing event item. If you'd like to have multiple deposit deposit billing events, you'll have to create a separate billing event, again, with its own billing event item, just a single one. So I'll set this status to issued and save. So if we go on and have a look at the PDF, so the process hasn't run just yet, so I can go in and manually run that. So I'll go and click on View PDF here. And so we have our invoice with all of the details I put in the template settings, the invoice details, the deposit amount, and you'll see that the amount paid is 0, the balance due is 1,000. So this is something that will get updated once I add in the billing payment record. So if I go back here, I can go into the related, I can add a billing payment record. So it's going to be paid in full. So deposit, billing payment, date paid today, 1,000. If you'd like to add any references, you can put them in there. Save. Because the amount is in full, then the status on the billing event will get updated to paid, as you can see here. So if I go back into the PDF, again, the process hasn't run just yet because of the 5-minute interval. So I'll just manually generate it again. And this has now updated the amount paid to 1,000 and the balance due is 0. So now that the billing deposit has been set up, as I start logging time into the project and add expenses, it will automatically pick those up depending on how much balance is remaining. So for a time log, if there's sufficient balance to cover the full time log, it will pick that up. If there is only enough to cover part of the time log, then it will split out the time log into 2 so that the balance is covered and then the remaining time log gets picked up by the periodic billing process, so that won't get associated with the billing event. And then for expenses, if there is sufficient balance to cover the full expense amount, then it will associate it to the deposit billing event. Otherwise, it will get picked up by the periodic billing process. So let's have a look at how that works. So I'll go ahead and log 6 hours on this action here. So I'm expecting, based on my billable hourly rate, I'm expecting $600, and that should get added to the billing event. So if I go to time logs, you'll see that the time log has been added in because there is no approval required. It's just set to approve. And the time log is relating to the deposit billing event item. So if I click into that, that's coming in from the deposit billing event. So if I go back now to the project, I'll create an expense. So go ahead and add an expense for $200. There's $400 remaining on the deposit, so I'm expecting this expense to be picked up as well. So I'll go ahead and set this for we'll set category there, source paid today 200, and that should do it. Save. So I'm expecting this expense to be picked up by the deposit, which it has. You'll see that has been related. So if I go back here, I have a budget of, or I had budget for this deposit to be $1,000. And so it has picked up 600 from the time log here and 200. So the remaining balance is now 200. So I'll go ahead and add time log in for 4 hours, let's say. And that I'm expecting that to split into 2 time logs based on how the process works. So if I go to time logs now, I'll just have the one time log here. And if I logged 4 hours, it should split that into two hours each. So 4 hours there and log time. Go to time logs. So now you'll see I just had the one time log there, and now that has been, the 4 hour time log has been split into 2 because one has been invoiced to account for the remaining budget on the deposit event, and the other time log has been it will get picked up by the periodic billing process. So I'll wait for the periodic billing process to run and just resume. From then we'll see that the periodic billing gets added and the expense, the time log gets picked up by the event. All right, so another thing that I've done here is created an expense. Again, I didn't have enough budget on the deposit, so I didn't expect it to be on the deposit billing event, which in this case it didn't. So I'm expecting this to be picked up by the billing process, and so the billing process has run, and now I'm expecting this $400 expense and this $200 time log to be picked up by the or to have been picked up by the periodic billing process. So if I go into the billing tab, so the process has run. So this is the billing event. So it's got a $600 amount, so 400 from the expense and 200 from the time logs. So we can see I've got the expense here, I've got the time log here. So if I were to go into detail, I can see which expense. And if I go into the time log billing event item, I can see the time log that relates to it. So now that we have the billing event, I can have a look at the PDF. And it lets me know where those figures are coming in from. If I scroll down, because I had enabled the time log and expense appendix, I can see the individual line items. So I've got the time logs or time log here. And similarly, I've got a separate section for expenses. So this is your invoice PDF for the as part of the billing process, periodic billing process. And you can also send it out to your clients using, if you've got activity and email activity set up here. So if you click into the activity button, email button there, you're able to use the out-of-the-box template from Mission Control, so billing event notification client. And it's going to fill in all the details on the invoice, and then you can set the recipient and send it out. Once that's done, you can update the status to issued. And then once the customer has paid, you can add in the billing payment records, and then it will automatically update to paid once the full amount has been paid. So that is the deposit to T&M billing type in Mission Control. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us via support, or have a look at some of our very detailed resources, including the user guide, training videos, knowledge base, and the learning portal. Thank you.